Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and this is day 36 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude. Um, and not really sure what I'm going to say today for day 36. Had a lot of people giving me different advice or suggestions or comments, and I just don't know how to respond to things like that. For my writing, if it's specific to that, I know how to fix it or change it or whatever. And there's still that part of me that wants to be a people pleaser, that wants to do what everyone else is telling me to do. And then there's that rebellious, stubborn part of me that's like, oh, I know what I'm doing and I don't need anybody else to tell me. And how dare you suggest I do something different? And the reality is, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm doing this on a daily basis because I felt impressed to do so when I started making gratitude lists. And I felt like this was something that God wanted me to do to help myself, and maybe to share what I'm going through. So maybe it will help other people that are struggling with similar things that I'm struggling with. And it's been very helpful in focusing on things that I'm grateful for and giving me hope for the future. And I was talking to my sister today, and she was asking me like how my life has changed over the past like 35 days since I've been doing this, because today's day 36. And I wasn't entirely sure how to answer that question, um, because I know I still struggle with depression. I'm still wanting to avoid my life and not dealing with the mess around me, and um, not wanting to deal with my old past emotions that I need to let go of and work through. A lot of things that I'm, it's not changing my personality, it's not changing who I am, but it has, in some aspects, changed how I respond to things. I've been more willing to work through things. I haven't given up entirely on things, and even tonight, when I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to say, I'm still going to do a YouTube video because I made the commitment to make one and to focus on things that I'm grateful for. And so I'm grateful that I can do that. I'm grateful that I can say a prayer and just trust that God will give me the words and they will be there. I had a friend suggest that I sit down and write out what I want to do, plan it out, make it organized. I'm not an organized person. I'm not even an organized mess most of the time. So I don't quite know how to do that, and I'm not a fan of doing research. I can do it, and I've written talks, and obviously I've written a book. So I'm sure if I sat down and scripted what I wanted to say, it would still come out different than how I wrote it. But I don't think it would be short, like 5 minute clips for people to watch, because my sister said that she doesn't have more than 5 minutes to watch all of these, which is fine. I mean, I don't expect her to watch all of these, as nice as that would be. I'm like, hey, you want to know what's going on in my life? Watch my YouTube videos. But no, okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm a little long winded and I ramble and I have more than 5 minutes worth of information to say or to talk about. And I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of journaling, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. So I've been learning a lot about myself. I've been sharing a lot of my adventures with all of you. Um, I'm going to call them adventures because I like the idea of having an adventure. I like the idea that I'm going on some kind of adventure by doing these YouTube videos, that life is an adventure. It's a journey. It's somewhere, working towards some kind of a goal or end result. And in this case, I'm trying to get to 100 days, and I'm at 36, which means I still have 64 to go. So I still have a long ways to get to the end of my journey. And I know at the beginning it's always very exciting, and somewhere in the middle, I think, is when I get, uh, I don't know, I get complacent maybe, or I just get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for so long, and I'm like, I'm done, I'm not gonna finish this, but I want to finish this. I want to get through that little hump, that whatever it is that I'm doing to self-sabotage myself. And I know it's subconsciously self-sabotaging myself because when I'm focused on what I want to do with my books and focused on my YouTube videos and focused on things that I'm grateful for, I'm happy and I'm excited about my future and I'm excited to see where my life is going to go and where it's going to be. And I have no idea where I'm going to be at the end of 100 days. And I have no idea where I'm going to be a year from now or 5 years from now or even where I want to be at this point. I don't know. I want to be focused on gratitude. I want to be happy. I want to feel like I have a purpose in life. I want to not be depressed and discouraged all the time. I want to have a reason to get out of bed in the mornings instead of I just want to curl up and go back to sleep. I want to feel like something I am doing or things that I am doing are good, or they're helping other people, that, it's worthwhile for me to do what I'm doing. And I think everyone needs to find something that they can do that makes them feel good about themselves. So I'm doing these videos to make myself feel good about myself. And if I end up getting a bunch of followers sometime in the future, great. If I don't, and I only ever end up with, I think I have 9 right now. That's all I ever end up with. That's okay, because I reached 9 people, and who knows how many other 9 people that will reach, or who knows what I've said that will linger or help any of them. And I don't know. It's, that whole ripple effect. You throw a pedal in the water and it ripples and it affects a whole lot of other people for good or for bad. And I hope that what I'm doing is helping people for good, because that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm helping myself in the process. So I like that it's kind of I was going to say a double-edged sword, but it's not. This isn't a negative thing. This is a positive thing. But what is it, 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess. I get to help myself, and I get to hope that I'm helping other people, that other people can learn from what I'm going through, or at least not feel like they're alone in going through things that they're dealing with. So I like that idea. And today, after I read my scriptures and meditationals, I was writing in my my book, my little business planning book, and writing to see myself the way that God sees me, and then making my to-do list. And I filled up my book. Yay! It was my last page. I forgot it was my last page, or I would have, because it was already half full, or maybe a third of the page at the bottom. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do this and flip to the next side, and there's no next side. So I'm like, and I get to start a new book, which I always like starting a new journal or a new to-do list or book. I mean, this is actually the first time I finished this particular type of book that I've been writing. It's not really a book that I would publish. Sorry, I don't know how to do that. It's my little to-do list, kind of a day planner kind of a thing, I guess, but it's just my personal writing about seeing myself the way that God sees me. And I got it initially to do business planning so I could keep track of what I was planning for the day and making plans for my business, which is basically to write books and things, and then making my to-do list. What am I going to do today? And the idea was to be focused on, like, for my business, and it's more or less turned into for myself personally, what am I going to work on today, and how am I going to see myself the way that God sees me? So it's just kind of a daily planner to-do list that I finished the first one of, so yay. But I bought new ones that I get to start. I love starting new books and journals and things, and so my journal is almost full as well, so I'm excited to start a new journal. I have a new journal waiting, obviously. So I like to do a lot of writing, obviously. But as I was writing this morning, and I guess it was this evening, whatever, but as I was writing today, and I was trying to pray to see myself the way that God sees me, I had that thought that where much is given, much is required. And not really entirely sure what that meant, but I think the more blessings I see, the more things that God is giving to me, the more it makes me want to show my gratitude to Him for the blessings that I have in my life. And in order to show my gratitude to Him, I need to use those gifts that He's giving me, those gifts of writing, of speaking, of sharing. I need to take better care of myself, take better care of this body that He's given me, to eat better, to sleep better, to focus more on Him and the gifts that God has given me, and then seeing how I can use them to benefit the lives of his other children, because I know that God loves everyone else as much as he loves me. And I'm not really sure how that's possible. I just know that it is, that the more love you have, the more love you give, the more love you have. It's a positive cycle that gets bigger and bigger instead of a negative cycle that pulls you further and further down. So I like the uplifting, positive cycle of things, and I'm grateful that I can start to shift towards the positive cycle of things, to see that I have responsibilities, that I can't just quit because I'm tired or don't feel like doing a video or don't know what I'm going to say today, and I don't have it all scripted out for me. But this is me. This is who I am, and I'm being very vulnerable to share this with everyone. But I feel more comfortable and confident, I guess, in some way doing this. And I feel like the Spirit is telling me what to say as I say it. The words just kind of flow, and hopefully they make sense. And maybe they don't. Maybe you'll find my little ramblings entertaining. Maybe not. Maybe that's why people don't watch my videos, because they're too long and they don't make any sense. I don't know. But it's really easy for me to focus on my faults and to focus on things that I'm not good at. And I've spent a lifetime of doing that. So I'm trying to focus on what I'm good at and what I can do, and the things that I have in my life that I can be grateful for, and realizing that I am capable of doing more than I give myself credit for. But I also am aware that I don't have to do everything, and I don't have to do everything today, that I can do little bits and pieces here and there. And I will do what needs to be done when I'm ready to do it. And that is another thing I'm learning about myself. I don't do things until I'm ready. And I've tried to force myself to do things. Believe me, it doesn't always work. Do the whole rumbling, grumbling, whatever, and then things just don't get done. And then it just adds to my depression because I can't get through whatever it is that I want to do, or it's just not working. And I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall. Like I keep trying and it's not working. And then, I don't know, there's that point where something shifts and it's like all of a sudden I'm ready. And then doing it is a piece of cake, like just getting up and reading my scriptures and meditations every day, like making this video. It's just like, okay, now I'm ready. and but I'm having, the last few days I've been struggling to want to do this again, and I'm like, oh, but I've been doing so good, so good. So it just means that there's more things that I need to work on, maybe in other areas of my life besides just focusing on gratitude. And that's, I'm not sure I'm ready to do, and it scares me. So I have a tendency to avoid doing things that scare me. And if I'm not making those changes that I'm talking about in my videos, then I don't want to make videos, because I don't want to disappoint myself or anyone that's watching. And then I don't want to disappoint God either. And then I have to remember that it's okay, that I'm okay, that I am still doing a good job where I'm at. And it takes time to build new habits, to make changes. And once again, I don't have to change everything overnight. I don't have to keep putting it off until who knows when. But I don't have to make ginormous to-do lists. I don't have to make unrealistic to-do lists about my life. And, I know I'm out of shape, but it's going to take me a while to rebuild some energy, to get in better habits with sleep and eating and exercising regularly. So it's going to take some time, and I'm grateful that I can give myself that time. I'm grateful that I can be more patient and loving with myself, like I've been with other people in my life. I'm grateful that I can look back over the last 36 days and see the progress that I feel like I've been making, the shift that I've been having towards positive things, the hope for a better future, knowing that things will be better for me in the future. And, I still am self-conscious about things. I still feel nervous doing these YouTube videos. I guess I still don't value myself as much as I would like to, maybe as much as God does. I know that sounds kind of conceited. I don't mean to be conceited, but, my friend did some formatting for me on my book, and he put like Midge Shoemaker in big bold letters. And I'm like, I know that's how they're doing books these days, with the author's name really big and the title smaller. I don't know why they're doing that now, because when I was growing up, it was the other way around. But it's just really weird to see my name in big, bold letters, like bigger. It's just like there. And honestly, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. And my friend was like, "You should just post that everywhere until you get used to it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not, I'm not ready for that." But maybe when I see it on my book cover, when I figure out a book cover for my book, and maybe I'll get a little more used to it. Maybe I won't ever get used to seeing my name in writing on something that's published that will be out there for the world to see. Um, I just, I know I'm not better than anyone else. I know I just have a different story to tell than everyone else. But I'm just not used to the acclamation, the affirmation. Um, I just, I think there's still that part of me that feels like I'm not good enough. And that's something I need to get rid of and change. That's why I read my scriptures and meditationals. That's why I pray every day to see how God sees me. So I can be like, hey, Midge is a good person. Midge has all of these talents and blessings, and it's not conceited to say, hey, I have a talent and I'm sharing it with the world. That's what their talents are for. We're meant to develop them and share them with the world. We're meant to see how good we are at something, but also know that we can continue to improve on what we have, and we can learn from other people that are doing the same thing. So I need to be a little more open to learning to other people and from other people and what they've done and how they do things. And because I know my way is not the only way, my way is probably not even the best way of doing things. It's just what I'm willing to do at this point in my life. And I'm sure that that will change and grow over time. At least that is my hope. And I'm open to some constructive criticism, things that will help me to some extent. But I think I'm still a little closed-minded when it's things that I'm not ready to face or ready to deal with. I'm like, I'm not to that point yet. I'm not ready to do everything. I haven't figured out how to do my book cover yet. I haven't not really ready to format my book yet because I haven't got it edited. I haven't got it. It's not even fine-tuned to be published. I'm still waiting for beta readers. So there's things like that that I'm just not ready to change. And at this point, I'm sure I need to go through and should be editing my book to take out all the times, not my books, my videos, to take out all of my little blurbs like that, to take out all the times that I say get some better equipment to make YouTube videos with. But again, something I'm not quite ready to do. Tried a little bit. I just still have a hard time watching myself do these videos and listening to myself. And maybe I need to listen to myself because I don't always remember what I say. So I can learn from myself as much as everyone else, I guess. But I am grateful that I'm at least doing what I'm willing to do, and know that at some point I will be ready to change that, to grow, to do more. But I don't have to push myself. I don't have to run faster than I'm able. I don't have to do things the way everyone else does them. And I don't have to do them in someone else's time frame. I just have to do them in my time frame or God's time frame. And God's timing is way better than mine. And trying to force myself to do things or get overwhelmed by trying to do things the way everyone else wants them done I would just go insane because I don't know how everyone else wants everything done, and trying to think that I do just makes me crazy because I'm not God. I don't know all of those things. I can't do all of those things. And I'm grateful I'm not. I'm grateful that's not my responsibility. And I'm grateful I don't feel like that's my responsibility anymore. I don't feel like I have to be a mind reader anymore. And although I do still want outside approval, I still want, feedback from other people, like knowing that I'm doing a good job. I'm at least still willing to do things for me because this is for me, and I can start telling myself that I'm doing a good job. And I'm grateful that I can do that. And, at some point, I hope that I will get well enough that I try to figure out what it is that other people want to hear so that I can share that, instead of just whatever it is what I'm feeling. But I am hoping that other people are understanding, or that this is helping other people that are struggling with things, and also hoping that, you guys can focus on gratitude because it has helped me over the past 36 days. And I'm sure it will continue to help me as I focus on things that I'm grateful for. And I know I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to be perfect. And I know I won't be perfect at the end of this 100 days. But I hope that I will make some progress. And if nothing else, I will have made 100 YouTube videos. So there is that. And I'm just putting myself out there. So that'll be interesting to see what it looks like to have 100 YouTube videos in a row. So that's kind of exciting to me. And it gives me something to be excited about and to look forward to the future, which I'm grateful for. And I think God knew I needed something to be grateful for, something to look forward to. I think everyone needs something to look forward to in life. And I'm grateful that this is helping me have hope and something to look forward to instead of focusing on things I'm not good at or feeling like I'm not good enough. So it's helping me to push through and to not give up and to not give in. And I'm grateful for that too. And I'm grateful that I can use my little stubbornness as a defect and use it as a positive determination to move forward, to go work through things. So I'm grateful for a lot of things, and I'm grateful that I'm making these videos, and I am grateful for the ideas and suggestions to other people. I don't want to say that I'm just blowing them all off. Just some things I'm not ready to do, or some things just don't feel right for me to do right now, and maybe they will in the future. But that doesn't mean they're right or wrong. It just means that that's someone else's opinion, someone else's advice, and it's good. It's good advice. I just it maybe doesn't apply to me at the moment. So I'm grateful that I can see that I can take what I like and leave the rest. And I'm grateful that I'm able to do these videos. And I hope that they're helping other people and it's not just me rambling, but I have no way of knowing. And so it may just be me rambling. So I hope that's okay. And I hope you guys all have a great day full of gratitude.